Happy Easter, everybody. I hope you're all doing really, really well. On today's episode, I'm going to be doing chocolate ganache. Now, essentially, a ganache is a proportional amount of chocolate and cream that you incorporate together. Sometimes there's additional fats, like butter, that are used as well. Now, ganache can be used as is, just like chocolate truffles. Take, for example, something like this, coated in cocoa powder, very rich, very delectable, and usually pretty expensive when you buy them in a specialty store. But I'm going to show you how to make them on your own. It can also be used as a layer in a cake. And I'm also going to show you how you can use ganache to be lightened and enriched with cream to be used as a mousse. And then make a nice little chocolate tart and use the mousse on top. And if you don't want to do all this baking and whatnot, you can freeze it. It works very well as a frozen dessert, frozen chocolate mousse with a little bit of jam, delectable. In any event, chocolate, as you all know, is a central nervous system stimulator. It contains bromine and caffeine. So what does that mean? Essentially, when you eat it, you feel good. It's a great food for the holidays. Stimulates yourself. Give yourself hope. There's always worse places in the world, but I'm going to share a little chocolate with you guys. Anyways, let's go. And on today's episode, chocolate ganache. Here's the method. 150 grams of couverture, 30 grams of unsalted butter, and 150 mils of 35% cream. Basically, you heat up your cream, you pour it over the chocolate, incorporate the butter, and that's your ganache. Once the hot cream has been added, let it sit for a minute, then stir, then add the butter, then stir again. Just like this. Remember to let it sit for a minute or two before you start stirring. And then you should get a mass that looks like this. Silky, rich, and chocolatey. Now for the first recipe, handmade truffles, we're going to put the ganache in the fridge. Now here we have 2 bowls of cocoa powder and some chilled ganache on the side. The method here is very straightforward. What we're going to do is we're going to roll a ganache into a ball. But first, we're going to need to add some cocoa powder to our palms. This prevents the ganache from melting as we roll it, and it helps release it as well. So you cover your palms with some of the cocoa powder, and then what we do is we grab a little portion of our ganache from the spoon, and then we're going to roll it into a ball. Afterwards, we can roll the ganache into some more cocoa powder, or if you're into tempering chocolate to make a little candy, you can do that as well. So remember, if your hands start to get sticky or if it starts melting too fast, add a bit more cocoa powder and continue rolling. The most important aspect is to make sure that it doesn't melt in your hands. And once it's done, you drop the truffle into the cocoa powder, put it on a plate, put it in the fridge, and then you can serve it at some of the best tables that you can. Put it in a box, it makes a wonderful gift. Either way, it's pure chocolatey goodness. Just look at that. Now another application for ganache is a layer. So here I'm going to make a chocolate tart with chocolate mousse. 270 grams of flour, 90 grams of powdered sugar, and 180 grams of unsalted butter, 1 egg, and a little bit of vanilla. This is going to make our pastry. So basically you just blend it all together, let it rest for 30 minutes, and then we roll it out, and this will be our pastry case. So you get a pie form of any shape that you have, fill it with the pastry that we've just made, preheat at 350, and bake for 20 minutes. Then we add some heated ganache into the shells, and then we chill it off. So we've made a cookie with a truffle base, and now we're going to make a chocolate mousse on top. So here we go. 100 grams of couverture, 20 grams of butter, unsalted, and 200 mils of cream. 100 of which we're going to boil, and the other 100 we're going to whip. So we make a ganache like we did before, but this time we're going to add the whipped cream to it. So you gently fold it into the ganache that we've made, and this lightens it up, makes it a little more airy, a little more smooth, and lightens the color, just like this. Now, we can put it into a piping bag and pipe it on top of our pies. And there you go. A truffle with a crispy cookie texture around it and a creamy chocolatey topping. And it's very simple and straightforward to do, all made out of ganache. Now, you can do something else without all that baking. Just pour the chocolate mousse into a mold and freeze it for 8 hours. Once that's done, pop them out of the mold and line a plate with some jam and let it come to room temperature. A nice frozen dessert. Enjoy your ganache. Happy Easter, everyone. Cheers.